You gotta see the video.
It began long ago, when darkness through its deceit captured the hearts of the sons and daughters of light. We looked for light, but we found only darkness. We searched for bright skies, but walked in gloom. We fumbled like the blind along the wall, feeling our way like people without eyes. We were destined to fall, even in the brightest days. We stumbled as if it were dark. Among the living, we were like the dead. We looked for justice, but it never came. We looked for rescue, but it was far from us. So he himself stepped in to save us with his strong arm and his justice to sustain him. He put on righteousness his armor, salvation his helmet. He clothed himself with a robe of vengeance and wrapped himself in a cloak of divine passion. He slipped out of his royal garments, left eternity to enter time, divinity to wrap himself in humanity. The sea of glass for the ocean of separation. He left peace and for the first time felt pain. Because the very hands that held the stars were now sentenced to wear my scars. It was love that purchased this traitor's heart. It's what the prophets spoke about when they envisioned light living in men once again. For this reason, I am legend, predestined for greatness, built for the final hour. I was born for this. With weapons in hand, armor in place, I now march to the beat of a different drum. I will break through battle lines that have been drawn by discouragement and despair. What more is left to be said? Time has met its end. It's now or never. Collision with me, myself, and I. You see, my mission today is clear. To wake the dead. So let freedom's song rage. You're not abandoned. You're not alone. Last day warriors, arise from yesterday's ash and raise your fist with us. We are the army that's charging upon the land. Defeat is no longer an option. It is victory. We stand.
We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our lives. We stand. We rise, we give our
Do this.
Who is it?
It's a piece of group called
PC4M? PC, what is it? I'm sorry.
It's called Ammo, Worth Dying For.
Oh, that's right.
The name of it is Worth.
Are they poets?
But mostly they have music too, but He does a combination of things.
Is it on YouTube?
Yes, that's on YouTube. And what is it called again? It's called Ammo, Worth Dying For. It really, you have to listen. I wish I had my speakers. I didn't do it justice. But he talked about Jesus stepping into time, him exchanging. That's the thing about a promise. There's an exchange. Him exchanging everything that he had to come down and be destroyed, his flesh to be destroyed for us. Sacrifice means I'm willing to give something up to the point of dying to it in order to have you, in order to love you, in order to be with you. So before you go throwing these words around, you better be very careful. You better be very careful. When you talk to the Lord and you tell the Lord, I love you, Lord, He knows the truth. But when you say it, and you know, some people are upset because they if you don't say it to them, they think something's wrong. Right. Ain't that me love me? You know, they go through all these changes. Mm-hmm. You know, why you tell I love you and you don't say it back? Lord have mercy.
That's nice.
That don't feel good, you know, because they put themselves out there. But you're like, oh, that's so nice.
No, you just go to the next.
I love you. Don't you know that I love you?
Yeah. So today at work.
you see what I'm saying? That's pretty serious because that means I'm ready. When you say I love you, that means I've already made or I am ready to make a promise. I'm not talking about just, you know, marriage or something like that. That means I'm ready. Even if it's your friend telling you that. I'm committed to you. I'm committed to your success. I'm committed to your upbuilding. I'm committed to your annexing. I'm committed to your elevation. I'm committed to you.
Yeah, a whole nother level of vulnerability.
Well, you better believe it. Because once you put yourself out there and say, I love you.
As well as availability and humility. Everything else.
I'm expecting you to be there. What's in place? I'm expecting you to be there for me when I need you. If you tell me you love me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm expecting you to be there for me. Now the agreement is I'll be there for you too.
Right.
If I love you. You know what I'm saying? What is it? What happens is we sacrifice and we say we love things that I love pizza. Okay, that's great. You know what I'm saying? We just throw the word around. But the thing is, when you say I love you, you are saying, I know you, I trust you, I'm willing to make a promise to you that I'm gonna be there for you. I'm expecting for you not to tear me down when I'm not around. When you say I love you, I'm expecting to have access. Mm-hmm. So if I say I love you and I don't have any access to you, you just send a clear message to me. You know what I'm saying? So God says I love you. Wow. God says I love you. That's why people are ready to lay down. Lay down their salvation, lay down their Christianity, lay down their clothes. They're ready to lay down, for real. They're ready to lay down stuff because they think they love something or love somebody.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why we jammed up now, because we didn't take our promises seriously. We didn't take what we were saying out of our mouth. But God commended His love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, He died for us. He loved us. Commended means He gave, He surrendered, He put Himself out there. And I mean, literally, it was totally at His expense. Totally His sacrifice. Totally His sacrifice. We didn't give anything. And He gave everything. That's what's so important about love. And I want you to think about all the people you telling you love. Think about all the people who told you they loved you. And they're not still around. Yeah. Think about the people who told you they loved you. I love you. Think about the people you told you love. Is there such a thing as falling out of love?
Yes. Well, and before or after you got saved, you uttered those words.
You never loved the person. I don't think there's something.
I'm strong.
Love is forever.
Strong out of love.
Right.
Love
Love is just a strong.
I
Is
might
love-
not like you.
It's supposed to, yeah. I might not like you all the time.
But
So if I
still
tell,
love you.
if Malik and I are in a relationship and I tell Malik I love him, and Malik does something stupid, right?
You just don't love him no more.
Do I stop loving him?
No.
Then I ever love him.
If you
If
stop-
your actions
I want you to say it.
If your actions follow behind it, will
Think
determine
about
whether you still love
Malik,
him.
he
or whether
swole
you
my
love
lip
him.
up. He consistently blacked my eyes, and I loved him.
You might still love him,
He kissed
but
you
you
in
don't
his
like what he did.
Wait, so then should we still feel going back to the Sister Jennifer situation?
Wait a minute. That's
Should we
not,
still feel the same? Should she still feel the same way since her man did that to her?
Since she said she loved this guy
Right.
who's cheating on
And
her.
we're calling her insecure, weak and all that stuff, but she loves him.
Now,
That's
does she love him though? Do you?
She
do
can
you love
still
somebody
love
that you stop
him.
loving? How many of you have told somebody, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, God knows, you told somebody you loved them and you truly thought you loved them, but looking back you realize
Yeah,
that was crazy.
absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what I'm talking about?
Did you love him?
never said that.
I mean,
You
only
thought
her-
she did.
I don't know.
You know how you felt. You know the passion. You know the every time you saw him, you know the gut. Like,
What was
oh
that?
my
What was
God.
that built on though?
What
I
is
think
it?
I think we love, but as humans, we love with conditions. We don't have unconditional love. So
Exactly.
our love is predicated on conditions.
Absolutely.
And once those conditions have been changed, then we're not Christ, so we don't know how to love unconditionally.
I would
say
I would
you
love
love
that.
Is there a difference
I
between I love you?
I want to hear something.
Because I love my mother. I love her.
Uh-huh.
But if situations have changed and she doesn't treat me like a mother anymore, and she totally abandons me,
You can
or
stop
something
loving
like
your
that,
mother?
people do it all the
Yeah.
time.
Those are some crud
So-
people.
Is there a difference between I love you and I'm in love with you?
Yeah.
That's the age-old question. Yes, a lot of people say.
So I think we.
I actually we're talking about the love
on
portion. The
conditions.
love portion.
So
I
if
think
you-
you still
if you
love the
if you
person.
stop
I think you
if you
can
stop
accept.
treating me right,
You
at
don't
the
like
end of
them.
the day, you gonna stop saying I love you.
What about that mother though, whose son is on crack? Who
But
keeps
she
stealing
never,
from her?
If
she,
she's a sanctified.
and I don't think that she ever stops loving. I don't think that she ever stops loving her child. It's just a matter of what you will and will not accept.
The condition
But that's
that
almost-
you-
However, she still loves her child.
Okay.
She might say, you know what, you stealing from me. You know what, you got to go.
WT.
But I do not believe that mother stopped loving her kid, regardless of how she treats them or whatever. I don't believe that.
I think.
What do you
it's
think,
the
Ron?
conditions.
What you think? You think if you truly love somebody, you think you can never stop loving somebody? You can stop loving that person. Think about your first love, or that person you was crazy about. Put that person in your mind. Do you think you ever stop loving that person?
Nope.
Or can you stop loving?
Yeah.
Yes.
Half of those
I
people
think
are.
so.
It happens.
That's conditions.
So what was your love
Right.
based on?
That's exactly
It's
right.
If it's
conditions.
there, it's gonna be there.
Ah.
Exactly.
So what if I told you I loved you, but I didn't marry you and I married another person?
Exactly. You would stop loving them. Period. You
That's
would
called being
almost like.
free.
You think
You don't know life.
so.
You don't know life.
I don't
But
think
if you
so.
stop loving them,
Yeah.
if you stop loving them, you never loved them in the first
I don't
place.
Do you have a place? Do you have a place? in your
Animals
heart?
love unconditionally.
Like you
Come on.
You always have love
I'm
for
sorry.
You leave them all day.
So Malik
Right,
says
right.
you'll always have love for them.
Like if they die, I
Is
probably
that like an
do more love
appreciation
than
for
you.
them, or to respect the
But then-
experiences you had with them?
But isn't that like then you have degrees of love because it's like
That's what I'm saying. We giving ourselves.
you know like at one point you know you're in love with them or whatever, but if you part ways and you get married to other people, I have love for you, but I'm not in love with you.
The word love
Meaning
is
like
entirely
it's just
specific.
like
So
it's just different degrees. Like
I
I really
will
loved
say
you back
this.
then, but
I will say this: there are different types of love. I was just talking to my brother about this. You know that there's phileo love, like Philadelphia. There's
Right,
brotherly
yeah.
love. That's the love that you have for friends. And there is agape love, which is unconditional love. That's the love that God has for
So then
us.
people need
And
to-
God asks us to have that kind of love for people so that we can see the soul and not the sin. And then there is eros. What do you think eros is?
Love.
Sounds like erotic, doesn't it? That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's sexual love. It's sexual attraction. So you got different types
So
of
that
love.
means that people need to categorize what type of love they have for each individual person.
A relationship that is not defined is not a relationship, a healthy one.
Absolutely.
Defined relationships can be healthy. You
So
can
people make it
see.
difficult, basically.
We make it difficult because we throw stuff out there and we walk around without definitions
Right.
of what kind of relationship and
categorize
commitment
people
I have with you.
I was, yeah.
What do I have with you? What do I have with you?
Right.
If I don't know what I have with you, if you're expecting arrows, but I'm only willing to give Phileo, we got a conflict.
Definitely.
And we can't walk together because we don't agree, according to Amos. Do you see what I'm saying? So you've got to define. So if you're walking around and you don't know, well, I don't know what we are. We just kind of, you dumb. Well, we together and everything, but that's not my man. Yeah, but but he just with me a lot. And you see what I'm saying? Then figure out what that is and work in those parameters.
But you have different.
And then communicate if we gonna go higher.
Exactly.
Are we gonna come closer? Do you want more from me? Do I want more from you? You gotta have some type of definition. Don't have people hanging on the lurch and be stringing people along, and then that's when they be coming up shooting you and throwing gasoline and burning your mind up. They start snapping because things were undefined. Either there was abuse or there were things undefined, and you played with my heart. And I'm telling you, there is nothing like a woman scorned.
Lifetime channel should be banned.
Oh yes. Do you see what I'm saying?
No,
Or a man who feels like he has been abused or disrespected.
Whichever one of the 6 female networks.
Huh?
Have you watched that?
I saw like one episode,
No.
like half an
Don't watch so
episode.
much.
Well, people don't know
Because they get angry.
They crazy.
Yeah.
No definition.
They poison them,
Yeah.
they chop them up, they put them in
Put them
burgers.
in right. Put them in U-Haul.
It's like,
Right.
Are you kidding?
U-Haul.
Husbands.
not
It's
about
like a
like
love
you,
triangle.
And they talk to women.
situation.
Yeah.
They don't talk to the women. Like interviewing them later.
So
Like,
how do you think?
you know when she put the dude in the
in the
In a barrel, they
Somebody
got
put
the
that to
lab,
watch it
when they
with
work in
them.
the lab.
She was
And then she exposed the
So it
bodies
was.
in her apartment. See, this is
She took it to the store.
She was in
and put them in the bag.
She ordered all of
Lock it
this
up and there you
like
go.
acid stuff.
yeah. They
Put his
them
body,
in
put his body in a
They-
container and
that's
just
how
let
they
him
catch
do.
them.
So all I gotta do is feel one, either disrespected
Right.
or
She
feel
snapped.
betrayed. Betrayal is very heavy.
It is very
I can
heavy.
talk about betrayal for a minute.
This is my problem with that show and shows like that. Y'all remember the Super Bowl commercial where you had the black couple? It was a Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, I remember it.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Before you keep going,
All right, so it was a black couple, and like he was eating a burger, and Shorty got mad at him, and then like he was doing something else, and Shorty got mad at him, and then he was like watching this white woman run by, and Shorty threw a Pepsi bottle at him, and he dunked and hit the woman in the back of the head, and they ran out.
Oh my goodness, that's crucial.
And it talked about reverse sexism. And if that thing was a man and a woman,
Wow.
and the man throwing a bottle at a woman, would that be a commercial? Would we tolerate that?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because you'd be in jail and it would be
If
utterly
Snap,
upgraded.
if Snap was a show about men torturing and killing women, would it be celebrated?
But it's not.
You see
you know,
it on first
but
floor,
you're looking at it differently because it's not just. Some of them is women, but sometimes the men involved. It's different situations.
Yeah.
I
It's
understand
not
different
just all
situations.
Yeah, you
scorned
you-
women.
Right.
Sometimes
Some of
the
them,
man
sometimes love
kills the
triangle.
love
Yeah.
triangle.
So love
I love you. You don't love. It's love triangles
Yeah.
basically. It's on a women's channel, but I mean,
it's thrown
I don't
around.
You never said
This
they
right
weren't,
here.
they weren't crazy.
Right.
You just said that.
Right.
We were crazy, but we're like,
don't watch
yeah,
that night either.
all right, crazy with it.
I don't watch those channels. I watch ESPN.
You know, to the naked women. Right.
Right.
I know that's what ESPN.
Hands of mine.
I mean, but this is
don't
important
watch
for
this.
you to understand. And what time is it? Because I want
It
us
is
to. I want us to.
8:59.
Okay, praise God. We got time. This is good. Look, we got time. All right. But this is important for you to understand. Why? Because God. Well, even before you even get to that level, verbal agreements are binding.
That's true.
They are binding.
Yeah, but if the only time you hear somebody say I love you is during intimacy, then you got the problem.
That's not you they love.
Right.
No.
It's not you working.
They love doing you.
Right.
I wouldn't even.
Every day. I need every bit of it. I need it.
Why do I keep listening?
I need to know.
No,
I love.
just telling the truth.
That's
You
it.
need a
I
Kojo
love.
can.
I love having you. So what does that mean? If the only time you get the words I
Kojo
love you is
can.
during intimacy, that means I love having you.
Right.
I love taking from you.
I just want better.
I love
Music.
I just
using
want
you.
better.
I love the release I get from you.
I love how you make me feel.
Right, I love how you make me feel. None of that has. I can separate all of that from him, from you. I can separate you from yours.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll say that one again. I can separate you from yours.
Yep.
I'm not gonna point down no more, so I'm just kidding.
Wait, she's like, oh no, separation. I'm charging
Angela Russell, right? No,
I'm not even.
I can say, because what that same thing that I just
so
got from
funny.
you, I can get from you. I can get it from anybody.
It happens every day.
It happens every day. Not only does it happen every day, it happens all day.
Yep.
Somebody somewhere all day is happening.
Wow. I understand.
What's happening?
Somewhere all day.
Business.
You need to do something else.
Square business.
But it's true. It's mindset.
It definitely has everything to do with the mind.
You need to find out.
But you know what?
That
The
is
scripture
a hobby.
says, the scripture says this, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. If it's in there, it's going to come out, good or bad. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. I know just what kind of life you live in. The scriptures even say this. Even a dumb person looks smart if they be quiet. You put a whole bunch of people in this room and we all be quiet, you don't know who's dumb or smart. You don't know who has the highest or the lowest IQ.
That is so true.
That's a good way to get intimidated too.
Nah, you can look at a person and tell if they don't. You can't
Not
tell if they're
always.
Not always.
I have a friend.
Not everybody.
I have a friend who says, and we used to come up with these different theories for humans, right?
Me too.
So she says, if you see somebody and the corners of their mouth is wet, they dumb.
That's probably
You remember
true.
this salami intake?
She said, if you look at it and the corners of their mouth are always wet, they always got a wet mouth, and they don't even clean it all. She said, I think those people are dumb, because they just sitting there and their mouth is wet, and they don't be like, this is just watching people. And I was like, where did you get that from? And she was just like, just watching people. I noticed that people with wet mouth all the time, like just wet.
Maybe you want to check.
And I'm going to be trying to eliminate that tomorrow at work.
Exactly. Next time you be around a bunch of people like,
I am.
Sarah, can you get that?
And you look in their mouth, all the corners of their mouth always wet. She said, some people, like their mouth be hanging open all the time.
yes,
Their mouth is wet.
yes,
She said, those people
your mouth be hanging over all the
somewhere
time.
dumb people.
Yes,
You
I can get some.
She's a fool. You gotta see me. Y'all think I'm stupid. She is a nut. She's a real nut. But this is just something that she thinks. But the scriptures say, there was that she probably gonna watch it and laugh. But that's to say the Bible is true. You don't know when your mouth is closed. But it does say that when you do say something, that's how we know who you are. Even if you try to keep it up for a little while.
So is it true when you say like